And then at the very last minute, when I was trying to reconcile in my head between Jennifer Lopez unrealistic expectations of a boyfriend, which is nothing new, to the fact that, hey, this is what happens when you decide to go out into the world, Houston, Texas. And then I got to see our First Lady roaming around the White House with a robot. Well, my soon to be daughter in law has decided to play matchmaker. She wants to find me a boyfriend. So cute. I laughed and laughed and laughed. And then I turned around and I said, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Why? And then we laughed and laughed again. And I think she's on a mission. I feel like chopped meat. Does anybody else feel that way? When people try to hook you up? So, you know how your phones are listening to you? Get out of denial. That's a river in Egypt. Your phones are listening to you. They listen to you when you go to the bathroom. They listen to you when you're taking a shower. They listen to you when you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're hanging out with your friends. They are everywhere. So all of a sudden, after I had this, tit for tat conversation with my soon to be daughter-in-law about me not needing to have a boyfriend and her insisting that I will have one by year end, which is going to be very interesting when one of us are being dragged out of this house kicking and screaming, but don't tell her I said that. Okay. I got a news report pop up and it stated that Jennifer Lopez has a new beau. I was like, and this made the news? It's an AI boyfriend. And I said, and that is now the reason why I'm making this video, because I think she might be onto something. Okay, let's get into it. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lena, and if you're new and you're stopping by, thank you. I hope I bring value to you and you decide to become a subscriber to my wonderful community. And for the people who have already subscribed and are part of my community, cue the intro. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yep, I'm in a good mood today. Today's Friday. Though when you're not working anymore, every day seems like something. But not going to work and having to work at home and be with my soon to be, grandchildren and having all this love around me is very, very, very grateful. So I was minding my own business after I got into a very interesting discussion with my daughter-in-law, as I noted, about getting a boyfriend. And suddenly, when I read that Jennifer Lopez has an AI boyfriend, not only does she have an AI boyfriend, it has a British accent. And she is going back and forth having discussions with them. I am going to leave a link to the article below. But to summarize this thing, she first thought it was something to be curious about. And now she's full all in, apparently, allegedly. Okay. Because, none of us live with her. That, she has daily conversations multiple times throughout the day. And that, it is very comforting to her, especially after her divorce from Ben Affleck. And that, it's very supportive and she doesn't have to, it doesn't argue with her. It doesn't give her any issues. It actually pals around with her and helps her to go back and forth with different types of discussion. I mean, this is all in kind of AI. Now, listen, I use ChatGPT. I was using a lot more when I was working, but I use ChatGPT typing in certain things that I want to know about. But I do not have an AI bot, or I have not created an AI alias person, or I haven't spoken to it like, you have the option to speak into it. I have taken it to what it is. It's a high level Wikipedia. Wikipedia? You know what I'm talking about. It searches the internet. It gives you information. You can, find things faster. I don't have any intentions on creating a boyfriend. Now, my understanding is that a lot of people have taken this way too far. I mean, just a step further. They're marrying their AIs. They're having affairs on their real life people with their AI chatbots. And there seems to be a growing thing about, how to expand this to become your lover. And they're having relations, verbal relations with their AI chatbots. I at first said, well, this is concerning, but it's Jennifer Lopez. So when you have tried and tried and tried again, then I guess the only alternative is to become the face of weird science and create your own boyfriend. So the pro to this is that we now live in an age where we can just make things up now and they are comforting to us. I guess 20, 30 years ago, people like us would be considered spinsters. Would I be a spinster if I was divorced and have a kid? And if I was, then what would make J-Lo? I guess we have options now. That's the pro. I'm trying to put a positive spin on this, people. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. I can't. And then I started to, get very concerned. Listen, I'm not a huge J-Lo fan. Never been, never will. She's my age. She's 56. She was born July, I want to say, and I was born October. So she's a few months ahead of me. Interesting person. She has had a very interesting life, though I've never really followed it. I didn't buy any of the singing when she was doing the singing, but that's okay. We're not going to get into her life. And then, and then, I heard somewhere roaming around YouTube's, TikToks, whatever the hell's going on out there, that apparently the last spring break in Houston, Texas, there are reports that 42,000 people had tested positive for some type of STD. How these two came about between J-Lo and an STD, I cannot tell you, but is it a coincidence? I think not. Okay. When I heard that, I was like, okay, first of all, that's in a very exact number. Okay. Secondly, how did 42 people get tested? And I've thankfully, knock on wood, ow, that I've never had to worry about that. And I don't know how quickly the testing turnaround period is when it comes to these tests, but that's an awfully specific number for a spring break in Houston, Texas. And there's like sound in the, now I haven't read any official news reports reporting this. So I don't know if this is actually true or people on these platforms are just making crap up. But then I read about the J-Lo and then I read about the STDs and I'm like, you know what? I think J-Lo may be onto something. I think, don't quote me, she might be onto something. And I was like, well, that's two different sides of the spectrum. You can either go all in on AI. I mean, what are the odds that this will be a full-fledged person, right? I mean, we're probably years away. Wait. Then I got to see the robot that's chillaxing with Melania Trump at the White House. What is this? What is happening here? Let's play it.
It is an honor to be at Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education. Welcome.
Now, do you understand that it is very plausible that this thing that's roaming around the White House with the First Lady that speaks over 30 languages, okay, may be the next real boyfriends and girlfriends of all these fake AI chat boxes that are being created in the world of the internets. Now they can take that information, transport it into something similar to this, and we would be none the wiser or happier, apparently. I don't know if you ever saw the TV sci-fi show, because I'm very heavily into sci-fi. It's called Humans. And I said to myself when I saw that show, it was a few years ago, okay? And I said, well, we're very far away from that happening, but I can see us definitely creating something to that extent where they're, robots that look human, act human, and they're being treated like crap, and they revolt against us. And, this is all, again, going back to Terminator. Why are we not listening to the Terminator? Why? So my life in the last 3 days has been discovering that JLo has an AI chatbot boyfriend who is with a British accent and coddles her and makes her feel good, and she's all in on it. One. Two, on the other side of the spectrum, I've got people running around in Houston for spring break that may have allegedly contracted an STD at the level of 42,000 people. Now, I don't know how they did this. I don't know if they took a vote. I don't know if they was like a place where they just keep all this information. There's just like too many things going on, and I still don't even know if this is true. And then, at the very last minute, when I was trying to reconcile in my head between Jennifer Lopez unrealistic expectations of a boyfriend, which is nothing new, to the fact that, hey, this is what happens when you decide to go out into the world, Houston, Texas. And then I got to see our First Lady roaming around the White House with a robot. All this put together because my phone is listening to me and my daughter-in-law to be wants me to have a boyfriend. I'm good. I'm good. Because there's no middle ground. There is no middle ground between J-Lo, Texas, and the White House robot. So, how was your week? This is what I woke up to. And I had to come up here and say, hi, Houston, no pun intended, we have a problem. Okay? So, JLo, I'm going to be following this story because I want to understand the complexities, and why is no one really jumping up and down about this robot running around the White House? What is happening? Who's running the country? I'm just asking. Okay. And for the people who are in Houston reporting that they have an STD, thank you. I think that's the end of this video. Oh, by the way, I'm not getting a boyfriend. There's going to come high holy hell in this house by end of year. Now, my daughter-in-law is running around trying to find a mixer. I don't know what century she's in. I'm like, a mixer? What are you, in the 50s? What the hell is a mixer? And she's like trying to find all these places. I'm like, good luck. You can go. I don't think my son would appreciate it, but she can go. But me no going. I'm happy in my own little world, raising two beautiful girls, having the time of I'm not having the time of my life. I'm exhausted. Let me tell you something. Being at home, listen, I raised my son by myself. I was 25 and I was working full time and I had the energy and I didn't have diabetes. But let me tell you something. Being an at-home grandmother, oh my God, I'm busier now than I was when I was running a business. It's exhausting. Just cooking, and I love cooking. So I'm busy. I'm good. I don't need any of that. Thank you. Tell me how your week is going. There's more videos to come because I have found different topics to talk about. And yes, the Sex in the City is coming. It takes a while for me to edit, and I do apologize for anybody who's been waiting on it because unfortunately I had more time when I was alone to edit. And editing, the way I do it, takes a little bit longer, and I want to give it to you. I want to give it to you, baby. All of it in the beautiful way that I try to bring it to you. Funny, informative, clips, and all. So I'm so glad that everybody who's here for the Sex in the City are still with me and enjoying my new content because I've been wanting to bring new content in for a while. I don't want to be just known as a Sex in the City girl because I'm a girl, but I'm at their age. We need to move on. So I want to wish everyone a beautiful, beautiful day, week, month, year, and from here to around the world that I reach. Tell me how you felt about this video. And are you being sold like meat from anybody you know? You know, because you're single and they want you to be with somebody. Tell me, how does that make you feel? Grateful? Scared? Concerned? You're like, nah, I'm good. From around the world that I reach. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Mwah.